to my channel, please press the thumbs up button, subscribe, share, comment. We are live. In today's video, I want to talk about pricing your service. This video pertains to those who own a private security business. Maybe you want to start one. Also, if you have a private investigation business, this video will be helpful. If you have a private training company, this video will also be helpful for you. So a lot of people ask me, Sean, how much should I charge for service? And that's a really sensitive topic because everybody has different ideas on how much to charge. I think one of the first things that you should do is market intelligence. What are your competitors charging? I get a lot of people that complain on the videos for the private patrol operator products I offer. I offer the 40-hour online leadership and development course for about $500, and then I sell my book on Amazon for $140, and people complain, they say it's too expensive. I'm not going to lower my prices. As a matter of fact, come January 1st of 2025, I'm going to up the prices. And I always ask people that complain, well, what do you think is a reasonable price for this book or price for this product? And believe it or not, it's usually only like $100 less, sometimes even $50 less. So I ask them, how much do they think? And often you'll be surprised at what you will hear. I tell a lot of people, like, look, I don't have any competitors. There's nothing comparable to what I have. Therefore, I can set any price that I believe is reasonable. Right now, guys and gals, your security services, if you own a company and your price is the same, if the last 3 years are the same, you're gonna have to go with inflation. I mean, because of the policies in place, and I will not talk about politics, I promise, but because of the current policies and economic policies in place, there's something called inflation. It's the cost of living increase. Every time I go to Costco, it's like $300. Gas station, if I want to do a little gas station run for the kids, the family, easy $25. McDonald's, for our family, every time I go there, it's like $50 or $60. It's expensive. Because of the inflated prices, you have to price your products more. Also, if you are watching this video thinking that I'm going to give you a magic number that says that you should price your security services at, I don't know, $30 an hour, you're not going to get an answer. You will not get an answer. Market intelligence is very important. See what your competitors are charging. Yourself, is the level of service that you are offering, is it the same level of service than your competitors? You see, should you compete with the prices of Allied Universal? And I'd say absolutely not, because look at the product that they offer. You have substandard service, and we know that through a lot of the videos that we see. You can drive just about anywhere in your city, in your county, and you'll see what type of service they offer, the quality of service that they offer. You don't want to lowball anybody. You lowball somebody, you're going to cut your employees short. So if I'm out there offering private security service for $30 an hour, or maybe we'll say $25 an hour, well, how much do I have to pay my employee? And by the way, guys and gals, my camera is moving up and down because I'm on the road. I have nothing to show you on camera, just listen to the audio. But look, what are you going to pay your employees? So you're only charging $25 an hour. Well, what do your employees get? And I told you guys a story that I saw an actual invoice from a security company that would involve the employee getting paid less than minimum wage. And they're able to get away with that because many of the employees live in Mexico. And they don't know better. They don't speak English. They don't know better. So these employers out where I live, right next to the border, they take advantage of these people, of these hardworking security officers. That's not right. It's not right. Now, let's just say if you charge $50 an hour, okay, that depending on where you're located, right? Depending on where you're located, you can attract talent, better talent than if you had a little bit more money left, or a little bit you charged a lot less. We'll say this, okay? I'm just making a number up. You charge $200 an hour for security services. Well, that can possibly mean that you can pay somebody $100 an hour. Now, what type of candidate will you get at $100 an hour? I think that you'll have a great candidate. You'll actually have a more diverse applicant pool to choose from. Now, from watching Commander Hall's videos and Mike Alvarez's videos, they even pay premium prices, but yet they get guards that aren't worth a dime in the world. So I think that concept is hit or miss. But I will tell you that your applicant pool will be like this, okay? What I learned in security and investigations, private security and private investigations, is that when you have that penny pincher client that wants security service at $20 an hour, $25 an hour, these are your clients that they may not even pay you on time. They may not pay you on time. But what I noticed, the more, and also you get less of a quality of a client. What I've seen is that when I charge more, I get more of a quality of a client. And I am guaranteed my payment. Now, we've done videos on how to guarantee payment. I won't get into that at all in this video. But these are the better clients, you guys. At least for me. Okay? Some people ask me, is $40 enough an hour? I don't know. You have to do your market intelligence. It depends where do you live. If you live in Texas, I don't know, maybe Florida, maybe $40 an hour is the average rate. I don't know. Okay? Keep in mind that you are competing against huge security companies like Allied that can penny push, you guys. They can go almost down to almost making nothing. And why is that? Because they have hundreds, maybe even thousands of accounts that are connected to their home office in the regional area that produce lots of revenue. I mean, you think about it. Okay, you penny push, you push it to $27 an hour, and you have, I don't know, like 100 accounts. And all these accounts are 24-hour accounts. Allied Universal can get away with that because their operating expenses are paid for with all of these accounts that eventually total up. Okay, it's like collecting pennies. You know, you're doing the penny jar. More pennies that you have, bigger the jar, the more it's filled, the more money that you're going to have. And you would use that money typically for operating expenses, which would include the cost to pay people. Okay, please, guys, don't penny push. Don't price your service lower because you're trying to win the bid. Okay, so these clients, the smart ones, the good ones, will see what you offer and assign value to that. They see a company like Allied Universal, and then see the type of quality of guards that they put up or they put out. They don't want to deal with that anymore. Too much of a headache. They're willing to pay you the higher amount. A lot of you guys are getting upset because you're competing with Allied Universal and they keep penny pushing. I understand why you're frustrated. It sucks, but maybe that's a client that you probably may even get along with. Okay, maybe that's the client that wants you to do extra things that might be unethical or even illegal. Look for that more expensive client. Those of you who are in the training business. Also, this is the crazy phenomenon. So when I charge my service more, it's like I get more quality customers and sometimes more customers. So let's explain. I train a lot of people occasionally. Sometimes I'll do private clients. I charge $200 an hour for a one-on-one consultation on the range with people with private parties. You might say, Sean, that's a ripoff. Like $200, who's going to pay that? Palm Springs area, you get a lot of retirees, and the way I advertise is this is not a high-stress course where the firearm instructor gets you nervous because they raise their voice at you. It's not a setting where there's like 20 heads or 25 heads on the range and the instructor cannot pay attention to you. This is one-on-one instruction. That's the way I sell it. And I do get quite a bit of clients that are willing to pay $200 an hour. And by the way, this is $200 an hour with a 4-hour minimum. So if they just want a 2-hour shoot practice, it's still $800. And there's a lot of people that are willing to pay that. Now, marketing helps. For some reason, I'm like one of the only web pages in the Palm Springs area that appear. So that market is very, it's a very tight niche market, and people will pay that. When I was charging for my online private patrol operator practice exams, people would pay $250 to access those exams. My books, my private patrol operator books, I'm not kidding, guys. So one of my books, it was the version number 1. I had it on Amazon for $1. Okay, $1 on Amazon, $1. It's $140 right now. I got rarely any people that would even pay. Almost no customers, maybe like 1 or 2 a month. And I thought, this is like crazy. I'm gonna put it to $100. The same. No, I put it. It was 70, 80, somewhere around that number. So I had a $1 product that was offered on Amazon, and then when I upped it to $80, I would get. I don't remember the number of customers that would buy the books, but it was at least 1,000% more. Not even making this up. 1,000% more. Then when I upped it to $140, again, it went up maybe another 1,000%. I don't get it. People think that because you assign a dollar amount, it's more valuable. But yes, I know I'm not going to do the same thing because I know you guys are catching. You guys might be catching on. All right, let me just go through the comments real quick. Let's see who's here. Security guard command says the love won't load. What the hell? Oh, the live. David says if the client is dictating how you run your business, then the person who drafted the contract failed miserable. I agree. I agree. And that's assuming that you're trying to enforce the terms and conditions of the contract. You try to do that, they don't want to listen, then yes, somebody definitely failed there. Jack Spade Productions says, hey all, hey, how's it going? Security guard command says, I think a lot of people throw out a starting number and then try to make the contract work with that number. Yes. You know, what you also want to do is figure out what your operating costs are. That includes paying your employees, benefits, rent, utilities, and find out what's the minimum amount that you can accept. Because remember, you got to make a living too. If you own a security business, it's very common for the first year or two, you're not going to end up paying yourself a salary, but you eventually you have to. You have to pay the salary for yourself, and then your employees as well. So find out what that number is for you, and the number, it's going to vary, you guys. Um, some companies have to charge $60 an hour, maybe even $100 an hour, because they're in New York City, Manhattan, New York, maybe San Francisco. They have to charge that amount. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not price setting. Some people get upset because they think I'm price setting. I'm not price setting anything. I'm just making up some random numbers. Jack Spade says, clients that run the contract for you is dangerous. I agree. Security Guard Command says, you have to be able to sell ice to Eskimos, learn how to sell, add value to your offering, and make your services more attractive. Don't tell that to Wild Alaska, because he might try to sell ice to the drunk Eskimo. I like that. I like that. I like that saying. It's almost like selling a TV to a blind man, right? Jack Spade Production says, if you want subpar and you have a warm body, higher standard customer service security. If you want higher end, it will cost more. Absolutely. Security Guard says, buy his books. Excellent read, even for security guards. Worth it. Thank you so much for that, David. Eric Collins says, I'm not at work or sleeping. I actually get to watch a live. Hey, Eric. Welcome, welcome. Security Guard Command says, I made a spreadsheet for people to help budget out contracts and operating costs. Perfect. Something I just want to reiterate, if you're wondering what should you charge, I want you to do a couple things. Number one is market intelligence, see what your competitors are charging, but just don't price according to what they offer, because there's a lot of junky clients out there, and don't be competing with a junky client, especially if you have more valuable service to offer. For example, if you have these clients, I see them on Instagram all the time. They're doing all these horrible tactics, these billing search tactics that endanger the clients and themselves. If the client is hiring a security company like this, you want to be John Wick, you want to be SWAT operators, and they knowingly understand that these companies do a horrible job at tactics, meaning maybe that they didn't do their due diligence. If the security company creates a liability issue, maybe they accidentally shot somebody. I kid you not, the plaintiff is going to take the security company to court for negligence, and then they're going to take the client to court as well for negligent hiring. Some type of cause of action that would amount somewhere in that category. And what you do is you get a use of force expert or training expert like myself, who can testify as an expert to training standards. And I would easily testify, obviously depending on the facts, that this behavior, this behavior, these actions are not consistent with the standards of the security industry. It would not be a good day. Find out how much does health insurance cost, if that's required. How much is the going hourly rate for security guards in your area. Find out how much workers' comp insurance is. Find out how much liability insurance is. How much is rent? How much does it cost to operate a patrol car? Meaning, how much is gas a shift? How much is maintenance? Okay, are you leasing these vehicles? Do you have to make a monthly payment? Find out how much that is. And then find out what is the bare minimum that you need in order to survive an individual. You have to make a profit too. You have to make a living. Find out what those numbers are, okay? And that's how you would price. Hey, KG, awesome. Hey, thanks so much. He gave me a $20 tip. Oh man, that is so cool. Thank you. You definitely made my day. Hey, he says, I bought both your books, but I live in Washington State. How much applies to me because you talk about California a lot? Wow, KG actually put in a lot. Put in a lot of money in this because my books are expensive. My private investigator book is 100, and my private patrol operator book is 140. Is how much? Be honest with you, even though you gave me a tip, I don't even know how much is applicable. I'll tell you this though, that a lot of states, they replicate California. I know Florida, talking to Mike Alvarez, the laws are almost the same as California. As for Washington, I haven't talked to too many people from Washington. Maybe over the last year, maybe like one or two others. But the crazy thing is, some of the business professions code sections, they're almost word for word. Obviously, like the fines and everything else are different. Now, if you're using my books to pass the Washington exam, I never make guarantees. I think it will help you, as long as you have a general understanding on what the laws are in California. I think that you can apply that to Washington, but not all circumstance. As for the rules of conduct, the standards, okay, the private security standards, what is a standard response in a given situation? How would you deal with an employee who claims sexual harassment? The procedures are almost identical in each of the different states. Okay. I've had people that use my book, and I'm just using other states other than Washington because I want to show you that I think that my book might be applicable to your state. I've had people in Washington, no, not Washington, Hawaii. I had like 3 people from Hawaii use my books to pass their state exam. Texas, I don't know, but it'll be helpful for you. Okay, it'll be helpful. Just don't concentrate on the specific fines. Okay, don't do that. All right, let me see what else we got here. All right, guys, if there's any other questions, let me know. Feel free to post questions in the regular comment section box below, and then I'll get to that momentarily. All right, guys, take care. Thanks again, KG, for the tip. I appreciate it.